Well, it has been 73 days since the Premier League last had a ball kicked in it. But guess what? You only have to wait 2 more days for it to start again. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from 3 friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That guy up top of me, he is Brad. He supports Chelsea Football Club. And down below that is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, hello. Are you guys as excited for Friday as I am?
Yes, I am. I am incredibly excited that football is back.
Why wouldn't I be excited? We got a new manager and a new style, and we're ready to press them. We're pressing like smash burgers.
Oh, that's nice. Smash burgers are dope. Speaking of, You know what else is dope?
What's that?
Like, subscribe, comment, review. If you are on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring the side notification bell, drop a comment down below. If you're on one of the podcast sites, hit it with a follow. 5-star review if your platform so allows. Join our Discord. It's in the comments or the description of this video below. Also, as a quick reminder to you, you can find a link to our community submission form for our Sheets of Integrity. You guys get to play along with us and select 1 through 20 where you think the teams are going to finish in the Premier League. Pick a Golden Boot, Golden Glove, assuming you read the instructions correctly, Brad, right?
Yeah, and it's complicated, so take your time.
Winners of some other competitions and things like that. But we would love for you guys to submit your predictions. So you'll find that link. It's a couple places. You'll find it in the description of this video. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. We will also post it and pin it as the top comment for this video on YouTube. So if you could do all those things, we would really appreciate it.
Just as a reminder, it is complicated. You will need to be able to read at a 3rd grade level. So just remember that when you go in to do that.
But if you're not quite at a 3rd grade reading level, you can have somebody read it to you.
Yes, or help somebody read it to you.
Help you with it. And we do collect some personal information like name and email address, things like that. If you don't have those things, obviously you have a name, but if you don't have an email address, it's fine. You don't have to submit it, and we will do our best not to dox you or put any identifying information on the internet for you. But we might use your name and reference your picks at some point in a future episode. Okay, without further ado, guys, it's match week 1. Friday we have football. That it's actually kind of a wild week. We got football on Friday, we got football on Saturday, got football on Sunday, got football on Monday. Premier League not playing this weekend. They know that none of the other European leagues have started yet, and so they got a monopoly on the weekend, and so they're just blasting us. It's quite lovely.
It's kind of like that viral video, right? It's Friday night, it's Saturday, Sunday.
I don't know what you're...
No,
come on now.
I can vibe with you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on. Search the internet more.
I am an internet boomer, so...
we did have a couple of interesting comments, didn't we?
We did, yeah. So appreciate those comments from last week. So we're going to start off with Joel. Joel had a quick roast for Brad because Brad said some outrageous things last week about Newcastle Football Club.
Nothing surprises me more.
And so Brad's out here saying that Newcastle United this is going to be their first season in Europe, erroneously claiming that Newcastle has never been in Europe before. And Joel's response is, wrong, Brad. Newcastle were last in Europe in 2012-2013. They got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League that year. And before that, it was the Champions League in 2003. So,
okay, look, in my defense, 2012-2013 was the first time I was like a soccer fan, and I didn't even know European football existed then, so like I didn't know. So my bad.
Why do we have Brad on this podcast? Like, he's just
because it was my idea.
Yeah, true.
Y'all want to talk about the spirit of Clemson, or like what do we want to do?
Oh, Brad.
That's a decade of fandom though now that I've learned from. Okay, humble beginnings on FIFA.
Shut up. The humble beginnings where you picked a team that you knew would annoy people.
Yeah, that's not true.
There's a wonderful website that you can go to. It is called wikipedia.com. That you can go to Newcastle's page and check their entire history.
Sure, but why would I?
Why wouldn't you, Brad?
Why wouldn't you? You got to learn.
Have you?
Yeah.
About Chelsea's or Newcastle's? Absolutely not. So, Joel, let me offer you the deepest apologies and the most sincerest apologies from Red Card Radio and all Newcastle United supporters. We sincerely apologize for Brad's erroneous, ignorant comments, and we will endeavor.
You just want the Saudi money next year for Havertz.
We will endeavor to protect you in the future from any slander and libel that comes from Brad. No guarantees, though. Second comment from Will. So Sean picking Arsenal to win the FA Cup was surprising, but makes sense given Arsenal's strength last year and their recent history in the competition. James picking Spurs was shocking. I think Sean would take 17th place finish in the league for an FA Cup. So Sean, would you take the FA Cup and finish 17th?
So basically you're West Hamming me.
But West Hamming you with a domestic cup, not a European cup.
West Hamming me with a domestic cup. Yeah, I'll take a West Ham.
Because I mean, the thing about
West Ham and eggs.
The thing about it is you're not relegated, and you get Europa League. So like,
yep.
That's perfect, right?
Yeah,
you get a trophy and Europa League for next year. Like you can't beat that.
We're in. But you know where we're also in if that happens?
Where?
A coaching hire, sir.
So, I don't know. Well, that's a good question.
No,
Daniel Levy would probably fire him right before the final.
yes, that's true. Yes, that's very true.
Who would he hire? He would sack Ange and
what's his name would be there? Mason.
Right, yeah. Mason.
That's true.
Trotting him back out here.
Forgot about our guy.
Give him a second shot at the cup. But the reason why that made me laugh was because and we've been trying to get an answer from Sean about a cup question in the group chat all week, and he was like, "I'm so bored of this.
I'm gonna fall asleep before I answer it."
I didn't know if we were going to get an answer there.
That's good.
We're on live television, Brad. I got to answer something.
Hey, look, if that's how we have to get answers from you, then let's do that.
Well, we really appreciate those comments, guys. Keep them rolling, and it's great fun here dealing with those. So thank you. Turning our attention to some current events before we get into match week 1 and kind of look at some of the matches that we got coming up. A couple, I think, fairly interesting news stories that have just popped up over the last 48 hours. Some of them even less than that, but apparently Chelsea Football Club is under investigation for financial breaches during the Roman Abramovich era. Mostly, I think one of the reports is about a maybe illegal payment or illicit payment, under the table payment from an offshore bank account to Anderson Christensen's family, something like that, his dad. I saw that on Twitter, but apparently there's financial stuff going on during the Roman Abramovich era.
Some irregularities.
Yeah, what have you heard, Brad?
To private companies is how it is worded. This is news. It isn't a shock because during the purchase process, it came out that there were noted some irregularities with the books at Chelsea that Bowley self-reported when they found them, and when they bought the club, they withheld like 100 million pounds as part to deal with all of this financial mess that they had been left. And so it's not a shocker. I hope they get to the bottom of it. I'm hoping it's just a fine. But I will see. Apparently, points deduction is something that's likely. I'm all for books being clean.
So Todd Bowley, he withheld one Enzo Fernandez and one Moise Caicedo transfer fee for potential.
Or
not
and,
combined.
because it wasn't
Not
200 million.
Not combined. I'm just saying
Each separate. You said and separate. One of each.
Yes, I'm drawing a comparison. Maybe that's why Chelsea won't pony up the cash for Caicedo.
Maybe
they
know this is coming.
All right. This one is basically breaking news, but Wolverhampton Wanderers and Lopetegui, their first team coach, have mutually agreed to terminate his contract only 9 months after he joined the club. What's kind of wild about that is he was the Wolves manager, then he got sacked, and then he came back, and now they've released him, I guess, or that he's quit. It would be probably. Apparently, there's a dust up about a disagreement around the future of the club or like the plan. We're all speculating that he wanted some transfers and they were like, "There's no money, we're not doing it," and he was like, "Well, then I'm leaving."
Yes, that seems to be the general consensus. Is that he was like, "Yo, I need some cash," and they're like, "We ain't got none."
Yeah.
All right, I'm a bounce, homie.
It's just been
go ahead.
Generally interesting in the Midlands because between Villa up until they signed Emery, between Villa and Birmingham and Wolves, there was a lot of time in Birmingham of Birmingham clubs not having managers over the past 12 months.
Yes.
And that's been just like, it makes you just look up the map and you're scratching your head of like, what is going on up there that they are just not fond of having managers?
I don't know if you guys know offhand your predictions for Wolves last year, but I'm starting to feel a little bit like 12th might have been a bit too high for Wolves on my own prediction. But unfortunately for us, as we are the hosts of this program, we're not allowed to go back and change our picks. But you guys, if you haven't filled out the sheets of integrity, you should do that. You should hit the link below. You should fill yours out. We will leave those submissions open until the end of the transfer window. We'll give you 24 hours after the end of the transfer window before we shut that down and stop collecting responses there. So might behoove you to wait a few weeks before you fill yours out. Unfortunately, content is king and we're not allowed to do that here. But, it is what it is. Boys, is it time? Should we look at the upcoming slate of fixtures?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, of course, we're not going to look at the Premier League table because it doesn't matter to look at the Premier League table. The Premier League table is worthless for the first 10 weeks. I'm going to get my caveats out, so we're not even going to think about that. And obviously, no games have been played, so everybody's at 0 points. But kicking off the weekend, we've got Burnley, newly promoted Burnley, Vincent Kompany's team hosting his mentor, I guess, Pep Guardiola, and Manchester City come to town. The champions open up their season away at Burnley. And if you guys want to see the whole list of games, you can pause the video, pull it up, whatever you want to do. We're not going to run down it all, but a couple highlights for you. Obviously, I think a highlight is Arsenal hosting Forest. That'll be interesting because that's going to be the return of Matt Turner, U.S. men's national team goalie, is apparently close to agreeing to a deal to join Nottingham Forest permanently. Rest in peace, Dean Henderson, right? The pride of England, no longer at Forest. I kind of wonder what's going to happen to him, but and then also big one, we got Newcastle and Aston Villa, and then on Sunday we've got Brentford, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool before the weekend rounds out with United, Wolves. So I think you look like you had a thought about Matt Turner, Sean, or was it about Dean Henderson? I don't know.
Neither.
Oh, okay.
I'm just excited.
Wow.
I just was excited. I was looking at this slate of games. We got a lot of games that look fun.
I didn't even think about it, but if you look at the bottom of this video, the ticker tape has all of those games listed for you.
Yes.
And if you look now, it's scrolling through from basically the top. So that's good.
Yep.
You can just look at that. Where do we want to start, boys? Where should we begin our conversation?
Shall we start with the top 6 contenders?
What does that mean? Which game are you talking about?
I didn't know if you guys would get that. I was almost going to start with the Newcastle build up, but no, let's get Chelsea Liverpool out the way. I think that is a very, very interesting game. We have a question.
Oh, okay. What's the question?
Does Caicedo start for Chelsea or does he start for Brighton?
Oh, he starts for Brighton against Luton Town, 100%.
I don't know if he doesn't start if he hasn't been signed yet, and he doesn't start that against Brighton. Like, that's an interesting situation to put somebody into. I think Chelsea smash, even without Nkunku.
Hold on, you just said you think Chelsea smash Liverpool?
Yeah,
smash
3-0, 2-0, 3-0. Yep.
Yo, podcast.
The
podcast friends, you can't see my face. You can't see my face, but I am shocked.
He couldn't speak for a second there.
I'm not shocked. He does this every year, and then they're going to get smashed like United style last year, and then he's going to come back to earth.
Yeah, have you seen Liverpool? No. I am so Liverpool is they're going to be much better this year than last.
They took Hoofball Henderson out of the lineup and put in McAllister.
Yeah, McAllister, the Argentinian legend himself.
World Cup winning.
Yeah, true. I mean, that is actually a huge upgrade in their midfield.
Yes.
I think their biggest issue is going to be midfield depth at this point. It seems like they need to get at least another one, probably two midfielders in with all of the midfielders that they've lost there. Milner's gone, Henderson's gone, Fabinho's gone. Thiago has a horrendous injury record.
They just need a young six. Is what like that a young reliable six, and they're probably that away from being right where I put them at second.
I mean, they got Luis Diaz is back. He is healthy. He's ready to go. Gakpo is ready to go. Darwin Nunez, Mo Salah. Like, this is going to be a formidable attack. And if they can,
the only thing I don't see working is they really, really want Gakpo to play a 10, and I really, really don't think he plays a 10.
I don't think Gakpo starts in this. I think Gakpo's your depth, because
they just feel like they're shoving square peg in round hole, and he just looks out of position in that kind of that Firmino under the front three position, or dropping back, because Nunez is the
9.
Yes, but you forgot about I'm gonna butcher this. Dominic Szoboszlai, the homie from Leipzig.
Just say it fast, and then
the 10 from Leipzig. Dominic, homie Dominic is gonna be
homie Dominic. That's his new name. That's his new name.
That's his new name.
I don't want to say his last name.
McAllister will be the 8, and then what? Who's there? They don't. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and then you're still doing with the same defense that was there last year. Van Dijk's another year older.
But
they're going to score a lot of goals, but I don't.
Their defense was hung out to dry all season last year because they didn't have a midfield. They got getting run over in the midfield, and that exposes their defense. Their defense plays so high. They play such a high line that you're going to be exposed a lot because you don't have a midfield. Their midfield is significantly better this year. I don't know who.
2-0.
So time out.
2-0 at the bridge.
Who do you think starts on the left for them? You got Mo Salah on the right. You got Darwin Nunez.
Diaz.
You think Diaz? Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Diaz.
Yeah, okay.
Front three are set. Gakpo is your rotation or your Europa League player.
All right, I buy. I'm buying that.
So, and then it's homie Dominic at the 10, McAllister at the 8, and I don't know who they have for the 6.
Oh, Thiago.
Oh, okay. Thiago's their 6th, and we're scoring at least 2 goals.
All right. Well,
let's move on.
I think that you're crazy. I think Liverpool's going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be blowout. I think it's going to be about 2-1 would be my prediction if I had to make one.
It's at the bridge too.
Who cares?
First game at the bridge, 2-0.
All right. Sean wants to move on. Talk to me about Brentford, Sean. Brentford and Spurs. The early game Sunday morning.
Do you get a new manager bump when the manager's been here 2 months? Like, how does that work?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't think so. Did Nuno get one?
No.
He did. He won Premier League Manager of the Month.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Don't forget, he won it in August.
So the two things I'm looking for is Kane and his camp have been pretty consistent on if he is wearing a Spurs uniform on Sunday, which is why they want Bayern to up that fee before Friday. If he is wearing that uniform on Sunday, he will at least sign a 1-year extension.
Again,
and that is
I hope that is a $45 million release clause, £45 million release clause that he negotiates in there.
Well, yeah, whatever helps him too. Like, because there's got to be something on the other end that helps him. But like, letting him walk for free, I don't think he wants for the club. He's been here for 15 years. He doesn't want that.
I understand. He's a Tottenham supporter at this point. He wants Tottenham to do well, but he also wants to win.
Yes. And we're trying to facilitate that. It doesn't seem to be working. I don't think he wants to leave us without compensation.
Respectable.
So if that's the case, that's what I'll be looking for. If he's sold by the weekend or if he's in the Spurs kit on Sunday. And then next, we've got the young kid Udogie, who's been playing. Is he going to get loaned out? Does he start at left back? And then Van de Ven, is he ready? Is he ready to go at center back? Or we're going to run some situation which I do not want to. It's Dyer trot out there.
Yes.
Week 1.
Yes.
Like those are the things I'm looking for. Of like, how is my season going to go? Because if we trot out Romero and Dyer week 1, I'm bracing for impact for the rest of the year.
I think you need to remember that, like, I don't think Dyer is going to play a lot for Spurs this year, but your new center back signings haven't had a lot of time with the team. So I think for like the first.
Well, once you say signings, one's 18. Okay, we've got one signing.
Well, is that the Van de whatever?
Van de Ven is like 1920 from Germany, and then Ashley.
He's gonna take a minute to get ready then.
Williams, Ashley Williams. He's like 17, 18.
He's the kid out of like League 2.
Okay, well, it's gonna take a minute for the Van de Ven guy to come up to speed in the Premier League. Like, you don't just you don't walk in at 19 or 20 and be
maybe
all that.
I don't know.
Either way, I thought he was old enough. It doesn't really matter.
Let's go Mickey Mouse. Let's see what he's doing. How old is he?
He's recorded
22.
Oh,
he's recorded speeds faster than most attacking options in the Premier League.
That's fine. Like,
he is a highline center back, which is why Ange went for him. So that's what he was looking for. That's what he got. Apparently, he was targeting him when he was at in Scotland. So yeah, I'll take it. Let's see what he's got. But yeah, as far as the Brentford game, I'm just looking to be active. To be active around net like we have been all preseason, just pushing the ball, pressing the play. Don't get discouraged when we caught. If we're going to play a high line, we can't get discouraged when we get caught out.
Because that's the thing. Like, Brentford is a difficult place to play. Like, last year, they were one of the more formidable away venues in the entire division.
And if you guys remember early in the season, United tried to play a high line against Brentford and got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
Embarrassed.
Yeah.
So you cannot be discouraged if they break the high line early in the game.
Yeah. Do you think Spurs can get a result?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a 1-2 or a 2-3. I feel like this is something we can get a win out of.
Fair. The only note for you loyal listeners that I would have about Arsenal Forest is that Arsenal's already won a trophy this year. 2023 Community Shield champions. Put some silverware in the case, in the trophy cabinet. Declan Rice, Jurriën Timber, Kai Havertz, all one game played, one official game played for Arsenal, one trophy. These guys are killers. They're undefeated in trophy competition. So hey, actually,
Wow.
as a quick aside, I saw some tweets floating around that apparently, as either an Arsenal player or Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta has been to Wembley 12 times and has never lost. So that's like FA Cup semifinals, FA Cup finals. He's
That's interesting.
never lost at Wembley as an Arsenal employee.
And also the team that's won the Community Shield has not won the Premier League, and so that's why City didn't win it.
I mean, to be fair, the last time it happened, I think, was 2011. But we're changing that this year. Arsenal's going to obviously win it all. Yeah, no, I don't really have much to say about Forest. Arsenal should absolutely destroy them. Should be like 4-0. We are looking. We're looking good. I think that there's levels that we can ascend to. Kai Havertz, Declan, they still need to gel a little bit. And Havertz looked sharp. He got into good positions on Sunday. He didn't score, but he got good looks. So I don't know. I know you're giggling, Brad. It's fine.
I'm glad that's your pain now, because I used to say the same thing.
It's not pain.
Makes great runs. He was in position.
This is not.
We just couldn't get him the ball.
This is not copium on my part. This is actual praise. He did well on Sunday. I do think I would like to see Eddie Nketiah start up top, but that's just, I don't think it's going to happen. But no, I think Arsenal should handily win this match. And if we don't, then it's going to be a long season. That's my.
Matt Turner saving everything, bro.
I love Matt Turner, but he's going to get hit for like 4 or 5.
He's going to Emi Martinez Arsenal, and I'm here for it.
Dude, we smash Emi Martinez every time we play him now. What are you talking about, Emi Martinez? I think the last one we need to focus on really kind of hone in on is this Newcastle Aston Villa match. We were all very high on Newcastle this year. We all think they're going to finish 5th. I think I was the only one who thought Villa would finish in and around them. I think I have Villa finishing 6th. I think you guys have Villa finishing a little bit lower, but I think we're also all high on Unai Emery and what he's doing at Aston Villa. So like, I think this game could be actually like really good.
I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think this is a great test for both teams. That I think top 6 aspirations are not something that they should they should both be having top 6 aspirations, especially with the money spent by Aston Villa and Newcastle and the smart purchases they've made. I think Europe again has to be on the table for both of them. Let's see which one's the better one, who's getting off to the hottest start. I'm very excited for this game. And
on top of that, neither one of them have had any kind of like European entanglements yet. So like, this is just like normal play for them. I think this. Yeah, go for it.
And they play interesting football. They play good football. Like, it's not one team that's going to sit back. They're both going to go for the ball. And so I think it's going to be a very up and down game, very interesting game.
Emery's very pragmatic. Emery has he is a very pragmatic coach in terms of finding the right solution for the problem at hand. And I can't speak specifically to the types of issues that Newcastle would present to Aston Villa, because I don't have a strong enough grasp on like the profile of Aston Villa versus the profile of Newcastle. But I think Emery would be very prepared for this match. I think Newcastle is probably more apt to just go out and try and play their brand, play their style of football, and not really change too much. But I think that Emery is more willing to be pragmatic. So.
All right, since we're calling this our pick of the week, Sean, what's your score for Newcastle Villa?
2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Ooh, and it's at St. James Park, by the way.
Or
this is at Newcastle.
1-2. Sorry.
Good.
B-Rad, what you got?
1-1 draw. I don't think there's a lot to split them here.
All right. Well, so we've had a Villa victory, a draw. I guess I have to take Newcastle, because just to be different. So one of us will ultimately be correct. I don't think this is what the game is going to look like, but I'm taking Newcastle to win 3-1.
Wow.
I'm not convinced that that's actually a good pick. I think in my heart, I think a draw, but I want to be different. So,
well, when you guys ran down these games, Brad said that this is a boring week of football. I firmly disagreed. I firmly disagreed and proved that he is wrong by naming off Sensei versus Student to kick us off on the season. The EPL writers had to have done that on purpose to kick off the season. Company hosting the teacher, Baldy.
Absolutely. That was
at Turf Moor. Not only that, we've got Bournemouth, West Ham on the road after they absolutely crapped the bed but won the Conference League. Like, do West Ham? Bournemouth had a good end of the season last year. Like, can West Ham get off their butts and not finish bottom half?
Speaking of West Ham, apparently this whole Wolves Lopetegui situation where the manager was upset. Apparently there's some rumblings of the same thing with David Moyes. Apparently he has been displeased with West Ham's transfer business this summer. So,
you take in 100 for Declan and
spend zero.
Alvarez.
They got somebody.
They're bringing in Alvarez from Ajax.
Well, relatively nobody. And then what's the other one I picked out?
Everton Fulham.
Everton Fulham. Are Everton on the same crash course again? They started Goodison, the toughest place to play in the league. Everton on a crash course with the relegation line again against a Mitrovic-less Fulham. Like, all right, so what happens there? They were a good team without Mitrovic for a couple of games. Are Everton on a crash course with the relegation zone again?
Is he still suspended?
No, he wants to go to.
I think he wants to leave.
He's saying he's not playing again in a Fulham jersey.
I think he's in Saudi already. Counting pesos.
You're still putting words in my mouth here because I said we only have time to talk about 4 games. Our 3 teams games and one other one.
I just did it in 45 seconds.
It was a bit longer than 45 seconds, but
yeah. It was what are the 4 games we can get in depth with? It wasn't that as a boring week. This is the first week of football. All these games could be boring, and we're gonna come on here next week and be like, oh my god, this was the best week of football of the year.
That's true.
But how can you be romantic about the first week of the season? We got storylines everywhere because nobody knows anything.
That's true. I mean, both of you guys make good points. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So I'm cutting you both off. Watch some football this weekend. There's gonna be plenty. I assume you probably, if you're in America, want to sign up for Peacock if you haven't already, because I think that NBC is shifting more of the games this year onto Peacock. I don't really know what the situation is for you folks in the UK, but I'm sure you guys have about 8 different channels. You got like Sky and BT Sport and I think
Prime.
You guys got a lot. You guys got it much worse in England than we do in the States. So BBC. Apologies, or maybe not apologies, but like I feel sorry for you guys. But check out our Instagram. Brad's doing a little bit of a giveaway on Instagram. We got some stickers. So if you want some swag, tag a couple friends, share the post. I don't know how Instagram works, but I assume that's what it is. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly what you need to do. Pop it on your story, and I'll put you in for an extra entry. We're gonna do the giveaway live next week. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out the technicalities around that, but we will have that for you guys next week. The winner of our first giveaway for Red Car Radio on the Instagram.
And fill out the sheets of integrity, and then hit us up on Twitter. That guy is at KS Brad G. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Hit us up at Red Card Radio, at Red Card_Radio. That's our handle on all the socials. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Drop a comment below and fill out those sheets of integrity because we want to see what you guys think. And until next time, I hope you guys enjoy some football. It's been far too long, but it's here and let's enjoy it. Good night.